Hello, my name is Indira Chandrasekhar and I'm the founder and principal editor of Out of Print magazine, a platform connected to the Indian subcontinent that features short fiction. We published our first issue in September 2010 and last year, that is 2020, we turned 10. And to celebrate the occasion, we brought out an anthology of curated stories, 30 of them, that was published by Context, the literary wing of Westland Amazon. I'm going to read a short excerpt from the introduction, which will give you a sense of what the anthology is about. Judging from the writing that came our way, the decade that began in 2010 when we released the first issue of Out of Print was a period where, emboldened by new technologies and by the establishment of numerous mainstream publishing houses in India, more and more writers in English sought to publish their work. The magazine received and solicited a wide range of submissions featuring iconic subcontinental writers like Munshi Premchand and U.R. Ananthamurthy, debut writing finding its voice, love stories, bold, confident, provocative and moving, writing from the queer community, exploring powerful personal issues, even as the laws on same-sex love in India, the United States and elsewhere were modified, Dalit writing that addresses injustices of caste and untouchability, writing from beleaguered regions such as Kashmir in the northeast, work in Urdu from Pakistan, Bangla from Bangladesh, English from Sri Lanka, work from the diaspora with submissions from the Americas to Africa to Australia that visit historical and cultural identities while telling the stories of individuals. I'd like to read a short excerpt now. It's a story called Baba Baglus and it is informed by the hanging of Zulfikar Ali Bhutto. As is the custom in civilized countries, punctuality was adhered to, and exactly at 2 p.m. a jeep appeared from inside the jail. The murderers' hands were tied behind their backs and there were black strips on their eyes. They were made to stand on the platforms, carefully positioned in front of their respective nooses, which had probably been fashioned in accordance with the width of their necks. The crowd turned completely silent. Baba Baglus was already silent. First, veils were placed on the murderers' faces. They were led by their shoulders to exactly below their respective nooses, and then, with extreme respect, the nooses were tightened around their necks, turn by turn. There was a sheet of silence over the crowd. Suddenly, from under the feet of the murderers who had been known as humans just a few days earlier, the wooden boards slipped out and they began to sway in the air. The sheet of silence was pierced and a section of the crowd, enlightened by pure feelings, raised the slogan of civilization, and people began to roar above the tops of their voices and participate in the virtuous act, crying out, "Zindabad, Zindabad." They were mad with joy. Several had tears in their eyes for having witnessed this pure vision in their lifetimes. The murderers' bodies juddered and then loosened as a goat's freshly sacrificed meat judders and ceases to move, as the tail of a fish trapped in the hook judders repeatedly. The waves of torture spreading in the atmosphere when their breath ceased at the point of death were winds of eternal life for the crowd who smelt them, absorbed them in the pores of their body and became more passionate. They had come to see a spectacle of justice, to be eyewitnesses to the beginning of a new system when the generation of murderers, dacoits and flesh traders in the country would end. This was the salt which then sprinkled on these earthworms would dissolve them forever. After today, crime would be a word which would only be found in books. That is why people had come to see The Last Murderer. Thank you. This is a powerful example of one of the stories in the Out of Print 10-year anthology. The book is full with wonderful works, and I do hope that you will purchase a copy. It's published by Context, the literary imprint of Westland Amazon. Thank you.